code everything.
Right, guys, we are back in free code camp. Oh my goodness, we are not. We're in Code Academy. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a Code Academy video. We are back in Code Academy, and we are doing make a website. They revamped this. I got an email. I said, hey, we revamped this. Check it out. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. We're on site structure. So Ollie bike sharing shares the wheels of the world, yada yada yada. So if you're unfamiliar with HTML, typically there's a head file where you kind of put all your general stuff that's not going to be viewed on the page, such as the style sheet. This is all referring to the style sheet. The meta char set. I to tell you the truth, I don't even know what that is off the top of my head, and like the title of it. So in here it's asking us to change the text that appears between the H1 tags. So H1 is a heading. So let's just go ahead. And so heading is just big font essentially. Comes in various sizes. So you're building a website. So we'll just we'll do it coding tutorials 360. Alright, so use the largest heading to indicate the name of your website in the index HTML. Don't copy and paste. Use the Alright, so I guess they want us to use let's see if we can use what we want to type. We may have to use what they give us. Cool. So there's our coding tutorials 360. And now we'll use a smaller heading in H3. And we'll say something like entry level program videos. We'll go ahead and run that. Cool. So you can see obviously the massive difference between an H1 and H3 there. So the next thing we're going to do is a p tag for a paragraph. And here we're going to say something like add me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and become a patron at Patreon. A little bit of shameless self-promotion. You'll see this will typically the p-tag will typically drop down a line as well. Alright, so pretty straightforward so far. So it shows us how to add a link. So it's an anchor tag, and then the href is where we put the URL, and then everything in between. Now we can do this for an image, or we can do it for text like we're about to do right now, or a button. So let's get started. Let's create an anchor element to the visitor list web pages. Alright. Ahref equals www.patreon.com/coding tutorials 360. So we start with an A tag, and like with most tags, we have to close it. Oh. Let's create an anchor element to send visitors. that what they wanted? Alright, so they wanted us to put that line of text specifically. Alright, so here's a use an anchor element to link the word list to the URL cities.html. Alright, so we're going to look for the word list right here. Same thing. We're going to create a tag and put it to cities.html. And then we're going to close it after list. Apologize if I cough a little bit, guys. I'm battling the flu. I had 102-degree fever yesterday. I feel much better today. Time to get back to the grind, you know what I mean? Alright, so ahref. Let's see here. So what's it? Quick note that this is talking about a relative URL. So if you're on the main page, the reason you only have to put cities.html is because it's already within the same folder structure. So that's why we don't have to put ollieblack.com/cities.html. So what's going on here? Here is a ahref. Did I spell this wrong? cities.html. Did you set the href attribute to cities? Yeah, let me just go ahead and copy and put this in here. I don't know. It might be some sort of syntax thing because it looks correct to me. So, oh, you know what? I don't think it wants. I don't think it likes this a tag here, I would bet. I would go ahead and run that. Nope. Yeah, I'm having trouble, man. What is going on here? What is wrong with my code? So apparently it didn't like how we did our our anchor tag in the previous example, and that was where our error was. I don't know at what point it told us to get rid of that, but hey, you live and you learn. Just it's more important to know the concept. So what are we looking at here? So attribute name right here is the href, then the attribute value, and then the link text. This is probably something they should have mentioned before we got started, but hey, I don't make those decisions. Especially if you're a beginner, it's going to be a little intimidating. So index.html and line below the paragraph element, add an image element. Okay, so we're going to add an image down below. So the way that we add images is pretty simple. You say image and then the source, and then you put the URL typically. And you'll notice that you'll put a slash at the end. The reason for that is because there's no closing attribute on images, so you just put the slash there. Closing tag, excuse me. So let's go ahead and run this. There's our bikes. Alright, I want to change the photos that the image element displays. Simply set the value SRC to a different photos URL. So, again, we're just changing what photo essentially here. In practice, if you're looking to do this on any sort of project, typically just buy yourself a website off GoDaddy. It'll cost you like $3 a month, and use that as your storage. It's just something I've done in the past. All right, awesome. The photos on the web page much cooler. So the next thing we're gonna do is it looks like implant a video. So index.html, delete the image element so that we can use the space. Okay, simply delete the image tag here. Run it. And now we're gonna put in a width and height. So if you look up here, I'll give you kind of an idea of what's going on. It should be pretty intuitive. HTML is pretty cool like that. So you know, video width, height, you can kind of guess pretty easily, even if you never saw a line of HTML, what that would be referring to. It's the width and the height of the video. Controls, maybe you wouldn't know straight off the bat. So, oops, /video, and this has a closing tag, and this is going to be somewhat similar. In this case, we're just going to say source src equals then the URL, and we'll just go ahead and copy. Let's see, did they give us a URL? Okay, they did. So we're going to just go ahead and throw that in there, and then we have to set the type to video/mp4. I think that should do it. So you'll see here are our controls. Here is the video with the width and the height that we set for it. So everything's slowly coming together here. So the next thing we're going to be messing with is ordered lists and unordered lists. The only difference between an ordered list and an unordered list is that a ordered list is a list with numbers. Unordered list is just dots or some sort of styling. Typically dots unless you change it in the CSS. So let's see here. Our navbar will go above the company heading, blah blah blah. So to create several lines between body and each one. Alright, so we're gonna basically show how to create a simple navbar right now, it looks like. So first we'll create an H2 element to serve as the heading for the navbar. Alright, so H2, and we're just gonna call this Ollie. Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. Bad joke. Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. Oxen free. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a UL, an ordered list. To create a OL, we would just create a to create an ordered list, we would just use OL. And if you're like me, you just go ahead and copy that, throw it out 3-4 times, and then we are going to be typing in sign up, search bikes, reserve a bike, about us. Go ahead and run that, and you'll see our 4 little ULs. Nice little explanation here. Parent child, parent element, children. Again, I kind of find it weird that they do it in to me it seems like it's in reverse order. But I guess they want you to read through all this. I typically kind of glance through it. Alright, first we'll enclose all elements between body and a div element with a div class container. So divs are kind of how you group things together. They're like boxes essentially, and you box things in a certain area. So in this case we want to put our container here, and we want to take in everything that body contains. Well, that it's probably, it's like, oh, that looks very contained. Alright, next what we want to do is create a div class for our navigation buttons right here. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. Where are navs? Alright. And the reason you kind of do this is for CSS purposes. It's also for organization purposes. But, I mean, that's not the only reasons, I'm sure. But that's the only reasons that I would really do this. Alright, so in this case we gave it nav, and now you can see that it inherited some sort of styling from over here. So nav gives it a little, oops, what is going on here? So nav gives it a little bit of background color yellow and width. Okay, so far so good. And then finally enclose the company H1 in the H3 paragraph and video on the third div called main. Alright, so last but not least, we have our final div here, and we're going to call it main. And go ahead and close that div, and we'll go ahead and run that, and now it's much more organized. So everything that's going on here, this is one div, this is another div, and this is another div right here, or maybe this is. So you can see like one div, two div, three divs. Alright. It looks like that's it. This kind of tells, they go over a few of the more technical stuff, like doc type HTML. Just kind of says, hey, this is a HTML document. Oh, let's find out what Metatrace said. Tells the web browser which character to use. Character set. Alright, it's not that exciting. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll see you in the next Codecademy video, and I'll probably have Codecademy Pro by then to do the pro stuff as well. I'm just waiting back to hear from Codecademy if it's against their terms of service for me to record their pro content. If it's not, congratulations, you get to see free Codecademy Pro content and learn from it. So save 20 bucks. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share it if you know someone's interested in watching it, and check out my Patreon page if you feel like supporting the cause. See you next time.